Thanks so much for joining us on After GMS on this 5th day of the new year. I'm Tracy McCain here with Ed Matthews, Megan Malaris, Christian Morgan.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
And you.
Hello.
Yes, come join us here on our feed, our regulars signing on. And we are signing on for better weather. Hopefully, once these
yes,
clouds and fog clear, it's going to be a great day.
You can sort of see the sunrise over the fog there in Winston-Salem. The fog, though, is still hanging low across most of the Piedmont, Greensboro, Winston-Salem, especially even in High Point. Burlington, you're looking all right this morning, though. Not too much fog over there. Starting to lift, but visibility still below a mile in many spots across the Piedmont Triad this morning. So keep that in mind. If you haven't gotten out moving around yet this morning, if you're traveling, it will slow you down just a little bit. Maybe give yourself a little extra time to account for that. Of course, all of our rain and storms that moved by yesterday well off the coast now as our cold front moves by today. High pressure starts to build in. That will bring sunshine back into the Piedmont, but the cold air is still a little bit delayed behind the front. So we're warm again today in the 60s with chilly air moving back in as we go into tonight and on into your Friday. High pressure remains in control for your Saturday. That'll keep us dry, but our next system to bring us a little bit of rain moves by on Sunday. That will bring us at least the chance for a few showers at times on Sunday. Today, though, a nice day of weather. Once the fog lifts, we have a mostly sunny afternoon of weather with temperatures in the low 60s. Get out and enjoy that. Tonight, we fall back into the 30s for the first time this year. Clear skies and upper 30s across the Piedmont Triad. Mid 30s a little more likely for our folks to the north and west and in the foothills and up into the mountains. Heading into the weekend, here's an early look at your Sunday. It's not a all rain, all day kind of event, but there will be showers at times Sunday morning through Sunday evening, and then it moves out late Sunday night into Monday. Right now is the best thinking. Monday and Tuesday do look dry. So there's your weekend. Never too early to look at that. Upper 40s to near 50. It will be chilly. Saturday's dry, but Sunday does feature that shower chance at least at times throughout the day. Heading into early next week, we are dry Monday and Tuesday. High temperatures are back in the low to mid 50s, just a tad above normal for this time of the year.
We don't necessarily need a college degree to get a six-figure job. So there are some big companies that are offering these 6 figures without college diplomas, according to the Wall Street Journal. Google, Delta, IBM, all reducing their requirements for education in certain positions. Instead, they are focusing on skills and experience, and I think probably all around chemistry with the rest of the team. So why the change? The pandemic. Yep, that's one reason why. Blame it on the pandemic. It caused a tight labor market, and job postings are outpacing the number of people who are looking for work, which means companies are, kind of easing their qualifications, but really picking quality candidates.
Okay. I mean, that makes sense. And there is a huge emphasis on cultivating trade skills lately, especially for trade careers that oftentimes are really high paying and do have the ability for you to continue excelling within a certain company. And so, yeah, I can see why companies are moving that way.
Did anyone open the refrigerator recently?
Me, is it beeping?
I hear the buzz.
I'll be right back. That's my fault.
He was probably getting his coffee cream.
I thought that was my phone.
No, I'm like, I heard the beeping, and I'm like, I didn't touch it. So I don't know.
Well, you know,
it's
there
shut.
you go. Thank you, Christian.
I have
Hey,
always.
give me a snack while you're over there.
Sorry, I couldn't finish my yogurt before we started this, so then I left the refrigerator door open. I don't do that in my own home, just only here.
Well, at least you admitted it.
I have always maintained that if everybody went to college, I think our society would be in a mess. College is just not made for everybody. I'm thankful for my college degree, but you can be amazingly productive in our society with a job and having never gone to college, maybe getting some formal training when you go to that new job or something like that.
You know what I think about? I think about, trade jobs, skilled jobs such as plumbers and electricians. There is some schooling involved in that, but it's not going off to college for several years.
Right.
And if you think about most of the people who are our electricians or who are our plumbers, or think about in the broadcasting business, folks who are our engineers, who do all that behind the scenes work, they are generally now older generation folks. And I wonder as we go forward what we're going to do, because I don't see a lot of folks that are coming up and want to carry on that entrepreneurship of starting the plumbing business, because yes, it does take time and it does take money and investment to get it going, but it's a job where you can make, really a lot of money, and it's a job that we all need people to be able to do.
Right.
Yeah, I know someone who has a master's degree and then actually went back to electrician school and now is doing that full time, making more money than he was with his master's in his other career. So it's interesting sometimes how that works.
Yeah, you bring up a great point, Megan. Starting something and then maybe going back to college later. A lot of companies are paying for those higher education degrees. I know my brother is getting his master's degree right now because he's working for a company that's paying for him to go, which is amazing because otherwise I don't think he would be pursuing that higher education mark, and then he'll end up getting paid for it, down the line. So how can you turn down that opportunity, right?
You can't.
Clearly, we're not making six figures, but I feel like there's different crafts are losing their steam, their momentum. Like not a lot of people are interested in it anymore. Plumbing, you mentioned, was one. I think journalism, like true journalism, is another. And I want to say, are there a lot of meteorologists in the world right now? Like I feel like they're not.
It is. There are a lot of times you think of a meteorologist just as what Ed and I do, broadcast meteorologist. There are a lot of those, but the job market is small. It's one of those. I was just talking to a colleague this morning. It's a very big business, but a very small world, and you have to wait for that right opportunity and right window to open up to get in. But there are meteorologists that do, vast other jobs. I mean, I think, for instance, I know a guy who's a meteorologist for Mars Candy Company. And they do a lot of long-range forecasting and outlooks based on for crops and supply chain. So it goes far beyond. It goes far beyond this. I mean, in very different realms.
Well, we know meteorologists on the PGA Tour who go around, obviously forecasting, advising. They're not on TV necessarily, but they're advising on the conditions on the greens on the days.
That's great.
Talking about trade jobs that do not require necessarily a college degree. This segment of our job market is so important. I mean, what does Ed do? I mean, I can barely screw in a light bulb correctly, okay?
Watching him change his batteries yesterday.
He did try to change the batteries in my clicker, and it didn't work out.
And I said, Kristen, will you help me change the batteries in the clicker?
I think you just had him in the wrong way.
Yeah, I had him in backwards, of course, but these people are so vital because when something happens in my condo, what's the first thing you think of?
Call someone.
You got to call somebody. So these people will always have a job in our society.
Change my batteries, please.
Yeah, I'm looking for somebody.
Fancy new phone he got couldn't do it for him.
I looked up the directions. I Googled the directions.
I'm gonna start crying.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Okay, you know what? I somehow logged myself off of Facebook. Okay. Here we go.
All right, let's see. Gerald said, didn't go to college, but glad for ones who are able to go. Susan said, depending on the job, that could be a great thing or a scary thing. So, it's interesting to see how society evolves, and there are opportunities for every kind of education path. Walter did not go to school to learn, but do know how to do a lot of plumbing himself.
That's great.
Yeah.
I think a lot of those skilled jobs too are, maybe generations that have passed down a business or a trade. Especially think about farming, especially too. There are so many jobs out there that we need, and people doing those jobs, who might not necessarily want to go to college and might not necessarily need to go to college for that, but they're all vital parts of our society.
Right. Gerald Hicks has a comment that you guys will probably laugh at. He said, there are tons of Facebook meteorologists.
Yes, there are.
Oh, yes, there are.
Yes, there
and
are.
we read their comments a lot.
We call those meteorologists. Instead of meteorologists.
Did you come up with that? You should trademark it. It's hilarious.
New word in the dictionary for this year.
Make it like a TikTok
social
channel or
meteorologists.
Sociologist.
Social meteorologist?
Yes, there you go.
That's hilarious.
All right, this was a great first conversation. We will be talking, I'm sure, about the jobs market as we get deeper into 2023 and see how all that shakes out. Let's get to some morning headlines now. You could be driving on the last leg of the urban loop in just a few weeks. Our news partners at the Triad Business Journal report DOT expects to finish the highway this month as soon as January 20th. Construction started about a decade ago. The highway ultimately will connect all parts of Greensboro. The last leg spans from North Elm Street through to 29 and to I-40. The project cost about $500 million.
An alarming discovery at 2 Walmart stores in High Point. Police say they found 2 skimming devices, one at the Walmart on North Main, the other at the Walmart on South Main Street. They were found on cash registers inside the stores. Police are urging anyone who used a bank card or an EBT card there in the last month to change their PIN number or at least check their accounts to see if they've been affected. Investigators warn this could be happening in other Triad communities as well.
Pretty soon, one of our local lawmakers might find a new career. John Hardister says he is running for state labor commissioner, a position serving the entire state. You might recognize the title of labor commissioner, but probably more so recognize the picture in elevators. The labor commissioner inspects the elevators. Sherry Berry held the title for 20 years. Calling her the elevator queen. She retired and Josh Dobson took over after winning the 2020 election. Last month, he announced he will not seek another term. So John Hardister is interested. The Republican representative has represented Guilford County in the state house for the last 10 years. The election, though, won't happen until 2024. At this point, a Democrat has yet to throw his or her hat in the ring.
Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools will swear in its new school board today. You might remember the district planned to do that about a month ago, but pushed it back because of an election complaint by the county's Republican Party. The state dismissed it a few weeks back, and the school board will welcome its new 6 members today.
All righty, one final look at the 7-day forecast. Still got some fog around, but conditions are improving and those visibilities are slowly moving upward. Overall, it's going to be a great warm day, mostly sunny, 63. We'll start to notice the cooler air move in tonight, mostly clear, mid and upper 30s. Tomorrow, cooler will be around 50. Yeah, we don't really get Arctic cold, but we're going to get temperatures back to where they should be really for this time of year, especially over the weekend with our normal high of 49. Weekend's looking good overall, especially the first part of the weekend. Sun and clouds and 49. Little system brings a few showers Sunday and Sunday night. Not a big rain event, back into the upper 40s. And then we'll start the work week next week with a mix of sun and clouds and temperatures into the low and mid 50s, which just ain't too bad for January.
That's all right.
It's not too bad, but it's certainly not what we had.
Yeah, you want that back, don't you?
I don't want it to go.
You better enjoy today because the 60s have gone bye-bye after today. For a little while, maybe.
For a little while, right?
Yeah, you were mentioning dusting off the bicycle, Ed, taking it for a spin.
I am thinking about doing that. I'm going to Sanford to visit my family, visit my mom, but I might have to get on the bike for maybe an hour or two just to make sure I know how to do it because I haven't been on it for a while.
Exactly.
1 foot in 1 pedal.
Yeah, it's like changing batteries in a clicker. I might have to Google that.
You'll be just fine.
Training wheels, right?
Oh man, guys. We certainly love having fun with you guys. Please join us tomorrow for another great edition of After GMS, and it's a special one, but you have to tune in to find out why. Well, now that's a tease.
There you go.
I'm going to come back.
Me too.
You have to.
All right.
All right. We will see you guys next time.
See you.
Bye.